Hey everyone, in this video we're going to look at some books sent to me by someone who watches my channel, and he designed these books and wanted me to know about them and asked if maybe he could send me some copies for me to look at on my channel. So that's what we're going to do in this video, take a look at these, and there's a variety of things that he has designed, and the first thing that you see here, very appropriate for this time of year as I'm recording this. This is a little book for graduates, 100 Encouraging Bible Verses for Graduates. And when you get inside here, you got the information about the different translations used and a notes page. And he has some like watermark images on these pages. A little message from him, the one who designed this. And then you have day one here and Bible verse and a little reflection section here. I think what you can do here is just write a little bit of a response, some thoughts related to the verse that you're reading and reflecting on. And so it's broken down into different days. And I would say, it's a good gift for people if they're looking for something, maybe along with some other gifts they're giving to a graduate. This might be something encouraging and helpful. Because it's just really like verses, I think that can be useful for helping someone to meditate on a certain portion of Scripture. On the other hand, you're not getting the context of the verses, so some of these verses may be more or less helpful to people depending on just their familiarity with Scripture. But I would say, as something that could just be a little encouragement, a little part of someone's day to be able to reflect on a particular verse in the Bible, I could see this being something useful to graduates. So interesting to see the different watermark designs he has on the pages there. So that's the graduate one, and as you can see, it's broken down into days, and getting to the end here, it has 100 days of reflection, verses to reflect on, and then another notes page here, front and back, and that's that book, the one for graduates. So 100 Encouraging Bible Verses for Graduates. The next one, same idea, but it's Bible verses for women. So has a more feminine design on the cover here. And you got the translation information for the different translations that are used in this notes page. And really same design here, message from the designer, and then the days with a verse and reflection section here. So these obviously are, I presume, going to be more geared toward women, the verses are. And again, some of the verses may be more helpful than others, depending on the person, depending on the verses that are chosen. I haven't read all the verses in these books, but I've kind of spot checked them some. And, I think it's a good idea. And so this is something that, might be helpful to people. So that's the one for women. And then you have here a sermon journal. He gave me a couple of these. And I like the lion on the cover, the lion and the lamb on the cover. And the design of this is actually really useful. I think it's a neat idea where you have the date, speaker, topic, scripture references that are used, section for notes, prayer requests, keywords, and further study. And I do like the things he decided to include in this and the way that you have the boxes separating the different sections. I think it has a very nice organized look to it. I would say, though, what might be nicer is to have all this information spread out onto 2 pages so that you could really dedicate one of the pages to just the notes for the sermon. Because to me, this notes section here is pretty small. Maybe for some people that would be enough room, or for some sermons, but I think for a lot of people, at least in the circles I'm in, the sermons are longer and more detailed, so you'd want to have at least a page for notes. So that's just an idea. But I think the concept is great. So that's a sermon journal. And there's quite a few pages in here. Probably similar size for all these books, you know. So I think I'm not sure exactly how many pages are in here, but if you go on Amazon, I'll leave links to these below. I think it will tell you exactly how many pages are in each of these books. So those are the sermon journals. He also has here a prayer journal that he designed. And again, really good idea the way that he has organized this and the information he's included. You've got the date, today's passage, preacher, sermon topic, notes, key verses, key points, application, and prayer. So it's really actually similar to the sermon journal in some ways, but this is going to be, I think, a little bit more geared toward Bible study, I would say. But it does have a space here for preacher and sermon topic, so it's not necessarily just private Bible study. But you could use it in that way or take it with you to church. So what's good about this, it's a larger book than the sermon journals we were looking at, so it does give you more space to write. If you compare, I think this is more of a 6x9, and this is more like, I'm not sure exactly the dimensions, but it's a pretty good size notebook. I would say even a little bigger than your typical notebook. But the nice thing about that is it gives you a good amount of space. And so all of those pages are going to be the same. Give you space for that same information for each day. Quite a few pages there for that. And I would assume all of these, because they're paperback, you can get them on Amazon. They're going to be quite affordable. So it's a really nice, simple idea. I'm sure it helps him to have a little bit of income, but also just a nice, usefully designed product. This next one here, got the cross on the front, and this is like a college-ruled notebook, lined notebook. So that might be something that appeals to certain people, very useful for some people, rather than having specific information that it's designed for to put in here. This is more open-ended, just typical notebook. You can put anything in here, but you have a Christian themed cover. And then the next one I have here, I think he actually said he designed this cover, so that is really well done. And this is an artistic notebook. It's kind of a sketchbook, I guess you could say. So you have some border lines around each page, but then you have a nice blank space for artwork. So I think that's cool if he did this design, to have that artistic design on the front, and then the artwork that you yourself are putting in this book, space for you to do that. So that is, again, similar size to what we've been looking at in these other books. You can go on Amazon to check the exact amount of pages, but that's the sketchbook. And then finally, he sent me a guitar tab, a blank guitar tab book. So this has space for you to write in the guitar tablature. So that's basically the fingering information for guitars for different songs. I'm not a guitarist, so if I'm wrong on anything, you can just correct that in the comment section. But I think this might be something that people that are doing worship music, or music in general with the guitar, and just want to have something to be able to write down, and maybe even writing their own music. This would give you space to do that. So, but it is designed for guitars. And again, you have like similar amount of pages, I think, with the other books that we've been looking at, the other large books. So that is the final one that I have. So quite a few options here. There might even be some other things that you find on Amazon once you get to this author's page, or you're looking at the specific items that I have here. Again, I'll leave links to each of these books in the video description of this video. So if you're interested in any of these, you can take a look at them on Amazon and get even more information. If you have any questions or comments about what we've looked at in this video, feel free to leave that in the comment section below. But thank you so much for taking a look at these with me from a fresh perspective.